everybody, and welcome back to another video on TJ's Gerbils. So today I'm going to show you how to care for your gerbil. First of all, they should have lots of toys and treats available to them. In their cage there should not be plastic toys, as they can chew these, and if they swallow any plastic it can be very, very harmful to them. Because obviously they're very, very small, and sharp pieces of plastic could easily puncture a lung or anything. So, or intestines or something. So, never put plastic toys in. Wooden, natural toys are good for your gerbil, and they should always be provided in the cage for chewing / gnawing, because it helps to keep their teeth down. Because if well, some of you don't know, gerbils' teeth are constantly growing, and if they get too long they won't be able to eat. But if you don't put wood toys in, you really should. And if you can get hold of one, a lava ledge or a pumice rock or something, even a small piece of brick or something would work, just for them to keep their claws down too, because they're forever growing also. But you can go to the vet and have their claws and teeth trimmed, but it's very stressful for them, so I would suggest against that, unless you really have to, obviously. They should have in their cage minimum of 6 inches of bedding / digging material, because they are tunnelling animals, tunnelling creatures. They will build tunnels, and that's the thing, that's what they do. So they should always have that. You should never give them, you should never give them sweets or chocolate, as it is harmful for them, as it is any animal. Yes, you can get animal chocolate, and as long as it's meant for small animals, it will be perfectly fine for them to eat. You can get that from places like Wilkinson's / Wilko, or any good pet store that sells food, obviously. They should have, if you have one gerbil, which you really shouldn't, they will get very, very upset and stressed on their own, and it may lead to them not eating because they're lonely, because they are very sociable animals, and any good pet shop won't sell them singularly. I have 2 gerbils, Lucky and Smudge, so that's okay. You should have 10 gallons per gerbil, so I have a 20-gallon tank plus a wire cage on top. You should have, unless you've got a big cage and you've split it, so 1/2 digging and 1/2 like what they need, like food and water. I know people like Pets Palace have done that, so yeah, whatever's easier for you. But they do definitely need a 10-gallon. They have a 20-gallon tank, because there's 2 of them. If you have 3, you need a 30. If you have 4, you need a 40, etc, etc. So it's 10 gallons per gerbil in the tank, plus a wire mesh cage on top, which I have. I got mine from Amazon for $65.99 or something. They should also have a house or somewhere to feel safe where you'll never ever disturb them, because they need somewhere to go to feel safe, and no big hands will come and grabbing at them. Because imagine how big your hands feel to a gerbil, because my hand is the size of the gerbil, so it must be very, very stressful. Just imagine a hand, massive hand coming down on you, which is the size of you. It would be very scary. So they do need somewhere where they can feel safe. Now, moving on to treats, they can have anything like nuts to any hamster or gerbil treats, and anything a hamster can eat, a gerbil can eat, because they are very similar animals. Not personality wise, I'm not saying that, like in things they eat, and do. But I don't know much about hamsters, so I won't go rambling on about this. This is a gerbil channel. Basically, they need cardboard tubes, tissue boxes. Mine have a tissue box at the moment filled with tissues. You can get them from Tesco's. Mine is just the everyday value Tesco's one, and they cost about 75p for a huge box, and they just love taking it out and using it as bedding. You should also have a soft, safe pet bedding for them to create their nest out of, and if you just change their cage and the bedding, if they don't come out of their nesting house for the rest of the day, that's absolutely fine. They will just be rebuilding their nest. Also, I would strongly suggest against, I know some people destroy their gerbils' tunnels every day because they think it's fun to rebuild them. It's not. Yes, they find it fun, but you should not destroy them once they've been made, because they take long periods of time to make. And it's like, imagine if you just built a house and someone came along with a bulldozer or something and just smashed it down. It wouldn't be nice, and that's exactly the same for gerbils' tunnels. They should also have wood levels, wood shelves they can climb on throughout the cage, so that, because they are jumping animals as well, they enjoy jumping from ledge to ledge, so they should have those. They should also have fresh food and water every day, but I'll do a separate video on that later. They should have, I'm just looking up for my gerbil cage to see what they've got, sorry. They should have a sand bath accessible to them at least 2 to 3 times a week, because it helps to keep their coat nice and shiny and gets rid of any oils or greases that may be in their coat. So you need to be careful, and you need to give them sand. They cannot have children's play sand, as it's a different type of sand. They can have chinchilla sand or bird sand. Mine have bird sand and they love it, just to bath in every so often. Mine have a salt lick, which they like to nibble on it. 1, keeps their teeth down, and 2, it's just a nice treat or something for them to have, and it's good for them. Nice and nutritious for them, so that's good. And I think that's about it I have to say. Oh yeah, they should also have a treat stick or a treat block accessible to them all the time, so that, say for example, if you forget to change their food one day, it won't be a massive problem if they have a treat stick available to them, because they can eat that. Also, a millet spray will do exactly the same thing, so that's good. They should, but if you forget to feed them, you should always do it the next morning, or whenever you feed them, or wherever you remember. You should always do it, but you should never ever feed them more than once a day, unless you scatter feed a tiny weeny little bit of food at a time, in that case twice a day. But I don't scatter feed, they have a bowl. So I think that's about all I have to say. So I hope this helped some of you gerbil owners out there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!